Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. As promised, this is part two of my YouTube journey, and I want to be able to talk to you guys about how I create content. I have a full-time job, a very busy one, as you can imagine, and I typically work about 50 hours a week, which is a lot, and that means that my weekdays are pretty taken when it comes in terms of my creation of content. But what I wanted to share today is how I managed to actually create 2 videos a week. Um, it is by no means easy. It requires schedules and preparation and planning. And to be honest, if I didn't enjoy this as much as I do, I don't know if I'd still be doing it because it does require a lot of planning. So, for example, what I tend to do is I actually create videos in batch. And this is something I'd recommend for anyone who actually wants to get into this area, who wants to be a content creator. Batch create your videos. I can't tell you how important this is. Yes, it's a lot to edit, but at least you have the foundational work done by batch creating your videos. So that's what I tend to do to start with. And then secondly, what I try to do is I will then take time and set out a portion of my day to edit as much as possible. Okay. It's usually quite demanding. I'm not going to lie, especially when you're just starting out. It was a lot. So it's been great fun doing that. So the other thing that I tend to do is I plan a day ahead, at least in terms of my batches. And this has been something that my daughter has actually emphasized. She's like, Mom, why don't you do it the day before? Because I would wake up and try to start writing out my notes. But if I try to give a day ahead and actually plan towards those videos by writing down my notes and documenting what I'd like to talk about, that has become so helpful. So I can get up on that day that I want to record, and that's all I need to do. I just need to record. So it's good fun being able to ensure that you plan ahead. And the thing that I like to pay attention the most to is making sure that I have solid notes that I can use and that will allow me to speak fluently, and then creates the need for only minimal editing. This, guys, I think is the biggest tip I can give you. And it is so important to me as a person because I have such limited time. So minimal editing is key. So what I've talked about briefly in summary is that we decide how many videos we want to put out. We then batch record them. And then we set aside time for editing. But the editing should be minimal. Why? Because our priority is to ensure that we have a fluent conversation going on when we're doing the video, and therefore only have to do a tiny amount of editing. So guys, I know this is foundational for many people, but for me, it's been a steep learning curve. And if I can help someone not have to go through that steep learning curve by themselves, I am happy to put this information out there. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I would love to have a discussion with other people who are on this journey with me.
As promised, everyone, here is my analytics for this week. I released a video called Weird Ways to Make Money. It was a really interesting one that shows different ways that you can make money that are unexpected. So take a peek at that one. My daughter asked me, she said, Mom, where on the dark web did you get those answers? So, that's what I do. I search, I research, and I enjoy putting that information out there. So feel free to take a peek at that one. You'll also notice that I have a couple of subscribers more this week. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I appreciate you and I'm grateful. So that's what I'm looking like this week. This one is doing extremely well. 10 keys to financial success. Take a peek at that one. And then what you're also seeing is the average duration of the views. So you see that people are seeing stuff. We're getting a great impression click-through rate, but not all of them are watching the video all the way to the end. But that happens. People lose attention or they have other things to do, and sometimes they don't watch the video to the end. But I think we've all seen that happen. But, thanks so much for taking a peek at this with me. I thoroughly enjoy looking at analytics. I enjoy it a whole lot. If you have any questions about analytics, feel free to drop your questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer those. This is what I do, guys. I thoroughly enjoy looking at numbers. I'm a geek. It is what it is. But if you have any questions that you don't know the answers to, let me know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you for coming to my little piece of real estate online. I'd like you to do 2 things. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one.